I had such an awesome weekend. Hey, hello, what's good? I'm Janae, a freelance lifestyle and wellness writer. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, so it's basically the weekend. As someone who's self-employed, my favorite part is being able to make my own schedule, and every day is different, but for Fridays, I usually only work like half a day. It is like 4 o'clock, and I'm usually not sitting at my desk at 4 o'clock. I'm usually far away from it already. I just wanted to hop back on my computer for a little bit to respond to a couple emails because I'm writing a story for AAPI month, which by the time this video is live, it'll be May, which is a great month. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, it's AAPI Heritage Month, and it's my birthday month. I'm writing a story for AAPI month. For this specific story, I wanted to get interviews so I could weave in some quotes in my story, and I'm getting quite a few responses, which is great. And I decided I think I haven't done like a vlog in a little bit. We have some stuff to celebrate, which I'm not going to talk about yet. I'll talk about maybe at some point in the summer. So subscribe, stay tuned for more story times in the future of what we're celebrating. So we were going to go get tacos from Torchy's for dinner, but then it started pouring and it's thundering, there's lightning, and I don't really want to drive in it. The Dallas rain can get pretty wild sometimes, so it's like, okay, let's like wait a beat and see if it calms down before we go and drive. There's only like a few days left of April, and we want to get their like taco of the month. They have a different like specialty taco each month, and so we realized, oh, we haven't gotten this month, and it sounds so good. had such an awesome weekend. I felt so relaxed and just happy. It was probably one of the best weekends I've had in a while, just because a lot has been going on. But I'm feeling a lot lighter lately, and I feel good going into this next week of work. I just feel like I'm gonna be very productive, at least I hope so, because I have quite a few deadlines coming up. I'm working on 3 different stories for 2 clients, and they all involve quite a bit of research, so I have to stay on top of that and the outlining and the drafting. But before I even talk even more about my work right now, I wanted to say happy AAPI Heritage Month. For those of you who don't know, I'm half Black and half Chinese. I grew up with my mom's side of the family, and they're all Chinese American. And I guess I wanted to share the book that I'm reading. It is May 1st, so the first day of AAPI Heritage Month. Vadim actually got me this book. It's called Rise, A Pop History of Asian America from the 90s to now. And in the beginning, it talks a lot about kind of like how the term Asian American was coined in the 60s. Of course, it was for political reasons of all of these groups banding together to have a little bit more of a better chance of their voice being heard. So it talks about the organizations that were formed, and then it goes into kind of that generation really trying to figure out what like the Asian American culture meant, because obviously there's so many different communities under that umbrella. Like, it does lump everyone together. And then it goes into media, movies and TV. It's pretty involved. Like, I wasn't like this big book. I was like, is it just gonna be like a lot of pictures and like brief things? But no, it's like very involved. So we'll see how long it takes me to get through this. So I wanted to talk really briefly about how my like working weeks are now set up. On Mondays and Fridays, I dedicate those days to personal creative projects, and then anything else personal I want to get done. And then of course, like, I'll still email with clients if I need to, but usually not so much. Like, I'm not really like email heavy, which is nice. And then Tuesday through Thursday, I focus on writing projects, and like here and there I might work on some creative stuff that aren't for clients, but for the most part I'm either like outlining articles or doing research, or I'm writing, or I'm editing. So I really keep that focus between Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I usually set my deadlines with clients for stories due on Fridays. And that's just been really working out for me so far. If like every week has been feeling pretty good, and it like takes out the time of like me trying to decide what to do every day. Like, I kind of have it mapped out in like my Notion of when my deadlines are due. So that flow has been working out really well for me so far. Here are some of the articles I wrote recently. I'll link them down below if you want to read them, but it's really cool for me to finally be able to show you guys what I've been working on, because I know I haven't really shown anything. I have quite a few pieces coming out in the next couple of months. On top of writing blogs or articles for brands or media sites, I'm really looking into moving into writing web copy for either businesses or service providers, personal sites, or like nonprofit organizations. So I'm looking to expand to that. So I'm really trying to have some more like CEO time to map out like what I really want to do, what I want to offer, and updating my website. That is what has been going through my mind lately for freelancing, in terms of like how I'm structuring my days and structuring the business, as I am a business owner. Here's a quick look at my Notion setup. I have my little studio where I have my accounting page, my writer's room page, my content lab, press links, some reminders, and then I have my project tracker, and then like client onboarding section. As you can see, I have a few ongoing projects right now, but what I wanted to show you is for any of the like blogs and articles I write, I have a template for how I kind of put that together before I start drafting in Google Docs. So I'm gonna open this right here. It's just like an example one, but basically you can see like I put the status of everything here so I know what it is, project type, add my rate, I add the link to the signed contract, I put the start date, deadlines, and then links to anything that I have, like the Word doc or not the Word doc, but the Google Doc or the live URL. And then I also backlink to the client that it's for. But this is the general way that I organize my notes and my thoughts before I start actually doing the writing. Like, of course, when you're doing research, you can pull a lot of the writing is being done while you're doing that already. What I like to do first is I add in the pitch that was accepted. So whatever I sent to the editor and the one that they selected, I'll throw that in here so I can remember exactly like what angle I pitched them. I don't always do an AI brainstorm, but I'm toying with it a little bit more to kind of either come up with ideas for like research questions, just to kind of stimulate my brain and get me just to kick off a project. I'll even have it, after I like write a bunch of notes, I'll even have it create like a very skeleton of a outline for me, just as a starting point. So I'm playing around with how to like utilize Notion AI more. I haven't used Chat GPT yet, but I do pay for Notion AI, and I think it's an awesome way to summarize notes, to brainstorm ideas, to help draft like tricky emails. Like, there's so many capabilities of it, but I'm still very new. But I add that little section, and then I drop like my article outline here so that I can kind of, I don't really like just free writing. I need to have some sort of structure so that I can make sure like all the points I want to research and write about all make sense. Okay, so I drop in my outline there. And then any research notes or links I want to go back to, I drop them in here. So this section is usually pretty fleshed out. There's always a lot of writing that goes on in there, which honestly makes the writing process easier. And then of course, storytelling ideas. Like, I don't want to write just some straight up bland reported blog. So I always come up with a few maybe like anecdotal things I can include, or just little storytelling ideas to make the piece more dynamic and interesting to read and just more overall engaging. And then the last thing is internal link suggestions. So when I work with a brand, for example, I'm working with Avocado Mattress. They have a lifestyle blog that I write one story per month for. And so I'll do some research on their site to see other articles that might be related to the one that I'm writing. And then for the editor, I like to put in link suggestions, like, oh, you could link this either throughout the piece, like maybe I'll link it in the actual piece that I'm writing, or they'll have a little pop-out link suggestion for like further reading. So I like to include that just to kind of make their lives a little bit easier. Of course, they might not always choose those exact ones. Maybe they have other ones that they have in mind that they want to promote more. And that's how I build out my blogs and my articles for people. It's been really helpful to kind of have this system over and over again. Like, I just made this a template in Notion, so anytime I'm writing a piece for somebody, I add it into the project tracker, and then I start from here and I build it out before I move it over to Google Docs and then actually draft the piece. So if you're a writer, hopefully this is helpful if you need like a tweak for your own workflow when you're drafting pieces. I know when I started doing this, the process was just a lot faster, especially in the beginning. It's Friday and I haven't filmed anything this week because I needed to laser focus on the writing deadlines I had. I had an article due today to an editor. I needed to send out my newsletter, which usually takes me about a week to put together, to draft, to make the graphics, everything to edit. And I had to do it in a few days because April just went by so fast. And I've been trying to send my monthly newsletter at the beginning of every month instead of it getting like pushed back closer to the end of the month. Good news is I got it all done. So I feel really happy and relieved with the work that I got done, but I did not vlog it, but that's okay. I don't need to show you every little thing. So this vlog ended up being like a weekend vlog / a beginning of the week vlog, and yeah, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Vadim and I are about to go to the movies. We're gonna see the new Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel movie. It's volume 3, and I feel like I'm gonna get emotional because I think it's the last one for like that group of characters. I think some emotional shit's gonna go down. But yeah, we're gonna go and do that and then get dinner. So it's basically date night, which is fun. Every Friday is pretty much date night. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great week, a great month. The next video you'll see from me is my birthday vlog. See you soon.